So, this is it. This is me. This is what today I'm painting this fucking thing. And my buddy basically said, hey, Oracle, you know, it'd be really funny if you painted a miniature without thinning your paints. And I was like, wow, that sounds like shit. And it is. Looked at my shelf of these old vintage minis that I have. I didn't really want to do that. I mean, these guys were expensive. These were $60 on themselves. That's a modern kit today. So, I mean, I really didn't want to do that. But at the same time, I also kind of had to realize that I bought these minis specifically because of painting culture. I wanted these minis to showcase a little bit of something different every single time I painted one. And that includes, or maybe should include, the early days of mini painting, when inevitably somebody will have a mini that looks exactly like this. Think of it like this. Some of the most famous examples of minis out there on the internet are ones that are painted badly. I mean, look at this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and that guy, and who could forget him? But, you know, I still feel that this is something that I bought as a birthday present with my own money. I didn't want to desecrate a mini like that for a gag. So I decided to take inspiration somewhere else. I'm going to take a challenge like this, something that only the greats could do. I clearly have to take inspiration from said greats. And to do that, I have to, obviously pick one out. So I decided to pick out Neil Hollis. He's a pretty cool painter, I guess. He did win a Golden Demon or two and a Slayer Sword or two. And I think I finally found a way to harness his power and his energy. That's right. We're gonna cheat. I'm just gonna be using these inks because they're thin, so I don't have to thin them down. I win. If you're wondering how he cheated, by the way, the backdrop of this image is actually AI generated, despite the fact that everyone else hand painted theirs. And then when people called him out for it, he made fun of them, basically. So yeah, very, very blatant, obvious cheating. Hey, I'm not gonna record it anymore in my fucking closet. I'm tired of being in there. Anyway, I primed the mini black and then sprayed it above with a gray primer. Yeah, we're painting a Dark Angel today, the 30K scheme, which is the better one. For priming the mini, I dry brushed it in white, which I did not thin down. It's the only non-ink I used, and now we can have a lot of fun with it by using all my funny, super cool, totally paints on the mini that we're gonna be painting without thinning my paints. And so I first did the black, which was very, very fun to do. I try to avoid all of the other bits that would not be black, and I touched up some of them in a white, so the pouches and the eye lenses and stuff in the skull, all that stuff got a little drop of white ink to make it stand out more. I did some of the red. I added some red to that black to make this very, very deep crimson color. I thought it would be cool, and did that to the bolt gun, one of the knee pads, and so, as well as the eye lenses, just to add a little bit of nice kind of detailing. That was when I grabbed my silver ink, which I barely used, but it's very, very cool. I painted the Aquila, the grill, the gun detailings, and the silver trim, as well as the holstered Dynafin bolt pistol that's just kind of sculpted on the mini that I kind of forget about sometimes, but I don't think you should. Never forget about it, please. Anyway, I went back and I highlighted the red detailing on the knees and stuff. I just used pure red ink there. I also painted the brown bits on the. That's embarrassing. I didn't get footage of that. I just realized that. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, brown bits, brown and the red highlights. It looks good. Anyway, I think I glossed it. Yeah, I added the gloss varnish and I put the decals on it, and then after that I put a matte varnish on top of that to make the glossiness go away. You know how decals work, and it looks like this. And I really, really like it. I think it's pretty cool. And here's the finished product. Now, listen, I know that some of you might be upset that I didn't actually do the real challenge of the fucking video, but I'm happy that I challenged myself in thinking outside the box to avoid doing the challenge. So that's something. Anyway, I painted a Dark Angel, which is something I wanted to do forever, especially in this scheme. So, now I know what it's like to paint one of them. And knowing is half the battle, and the other half is incredible violence or something, and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Anyway, join us next video for when I try to find a budget for the outro. Hello? This is an audio test. I need to know how well you can hear me while I'm wearing the box to see if I have to do voiceover or not in the final cut of the video. Can you see? I need to know if I can't, can you hear? I don't know. How do I sound while I'm wearing the box?